If you're a music producer, guitar player, a digital musician, and that bit of a content creator, you know that the buzz all over the internet is a brand new Macs with the M4 chips. Today we're going to be finding my own personal computer, and I hope that along the way I can give you a few pointers on what to look for and what to maybe not even think about when you're trying to configure your own M4. I'm going to lance this thing now. We break it down, baby. Alright, thank you so much for being here once again, and like I said, today we're basically gonna go computer shopping, but I thought it was a great opportunity to share a little bit of like computing philosophies for the modern digital musician. And even though this video might be geared to somebody that's trying to buy an Apple M4 right now and doesn't really know what to choose, some of the principles that I'm gonna talk about, they will actually apply to any kind of computer that you have. Almost doesn't even matter if it's a Mac or a PC. So hopefully you can get some value out of this. Very often people ask me the question what kind of computer I use. Since I'm always making videos about plugins and my computer hardly ever crashes. Some people have told me that they think I have a beast of a computer. But my friend, you'll be surprised to know that I have a 2018 Mac Mini with an Intel i7 processor. I mean, I have 32 gigs of RAM, but that's about it. For today's standards, that's a really underpowered computer. And in my mobile rig, I have one of those 14-inch MacBook Pros, the first M1 generation that came out. And honestly, I've been pretty happy with that computer because this channel that you're watching right here has been pretty much edited every single video. My Mac Mini would not even touch these kind of videos. It's just like... But of course, since my Mac Mini is starting to get a little bit older, I cannot do updates anymore. And like the new versions of Pro Tools, I really rely on a lot in RAM, faster processors. And I've heard through the grapevine that soon Pro Tools is going to start taking advantage of the AI capabilities that we have in our Macs. So this, my friend, is the right time for an upgrade. Let's go. Okay, so here we are on my computer, and this is the Apple website in the store, and we're just gonna see that there's these three new items: the MacBook Pro, the iMac, and the Mac Mini. And that gives you at this point like the first option paralysis, kind of, right? Because you start wondering, what do I get? Should I get a MacBook Pro? Should I get an iMac? Or should I get a Mac Mini? I want to say that almost any of them would be portable. And I know it sounds like a joke, especially when you're talking about the iMac, but I've seen people holding around an iMac just to do a session. And maybe you've seen that too. So it's not that far-fetched that you can hold a Mac Mini too. As a matter of fact, I was talking to one of my producer friends today, and jokingly we were saying, I just show up with my Mac Mini and I play it in your TV and that's it. So at this point, I think they're all sort of like portable. So the main decision I think is going to have to be if you have a screen or if you don't, or if you need a screen or if you don't. In my case, for example, like I said, I already have a mobile rig and I'm using an M1 laptop that it's doing pretty good. I haven't felt that I need anything else from it for the kind of work that I'm trying to do with it. And since, like I said in the beginning, my main goal is to make sure that we're not spending any money that we don't have to, that we're just getting the computer that we need to get for this particular moment in time. Don't even think too much about the future because technology is moving so quickly that you might be better served just getting a brand new computer every, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years. So maybe this is the end of the future-proofing era. Okay, I've talked too much. Let's go get a computer. Okay, so I said that I don't need a screen, and honestly, I don't like that the new iMac, let's open it in a new tab. I was reading about it, and they say that they don't have the M4 Pro in iMacs. This is going to be a very good piece of information. If you use Pro Tools, the thing that is going to matter the most is the processor. Right now, most DAWs don't really use too much RAM. I'm not saying that they won't in the future, especially with all these ARA implementations. But right now, you don't need too much RAM, but you do need fat processors. So I would say if you can get the Pro, get the Pro. My computer is so old that I cannot even see this. Please load Mac Mini. Wow. See what I'm saying? I definitely need a brand new computer. So let's just move on to my phone and see how we can do this in my phone. So I'm going to go right here on my phone and I'm going to open my App Store. And we're going to go right here to where it says Mac. So let's go check what kind of processors each computer has. Let's go right here to the iMac, which is the one that I was planning to see right now. Okay, we have M4, of course, beautiful, all these kind of colors, right? That green looks very interesting. Yeah, okay. But see, it's just M4. They're all M4s. And that's what I was saying, like that's not what I want. So let's go right here and see what happens when we go down to Mac Mini. The first thing that we have is a directory that says M4 and M4 Pro. And like I was saying, you need the best processor as a rule of thumb that you can if you're going to be using Pro Tools. So I guess that would be the first place that you cannot really save any money in. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, we have in all chips, we have first an M4 with a 10-core CPU and a 10-core GPU and 16 gigs of RAM. and 256 of storage. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to say is 256 in storage is way too little. By the time you install your programs and your applications, your plugins, your samplers, every kind of tool that you're going to be using to make music, you're probably going to be around the 200 something gigs. And that's cutting it a little bit too short. I feel like when you get to that last 10% of storage in a hard drive, the performance severely drops. So why are you going to start with like a throttled computer, to begin with? So I want to say at least 512 gigs. Okay, let's move on. So definitely that would be not the option for us if we're trying to make music and produce. I mean, you can. And if you have a budget of $600, I cannot begin to tell you this computer is way, way more powerful than the computer that I've been using for the past 8 years. And it's been carrying my career forward. So this one might do the same to you. So don't feel discouraged if you don't have the budget to buy something bigger than this, because this is already an amazing computer. But I want to say that I would consider people like me, like power users. We really, really are squeezing these computers hard. So let's keep moving on to the next tier, where we see the first change is the 512 in the SSD of storage. And that is for almost $800. So it's a $200 upcharge for that hard drive. I would say I would go straight for this. So in my mind, if you're doing music, a little bit of content creation, this would be your base Mac Mini, not the $599 one. And then let's see what's the next stage up. Okay, the next stage up is that they give you the 24 gigabytes of unified memory. Then here we're starting to get into the big leagues, right? Okay, then let's see what happens next on the M Pro. So like I was saying, I feel like this would be your best option right now to start with. Okay, let's move on to the next chipset. And now we see that we find the M4 Pro. And now we have 12 cores of CPU and 16 cores of GPU with the same 24 gigabytes of unified memory, but now we went all the way to 1400. So basically at this point, the computer is twice as much as I was telling you that your baseline would be. So just to get to the Pro, you're basically paying twice as much money. And what's the biggest difference that you see right here? The CPU, you got 2 more cores, and that I think is great always as a rule of thumb. If you're doing music, you really need the best processor you can afford. And then you start saving and everything else. And then what else is good in this one? That it's got 16 core GPU, where the other one had 10. So it's basically like roughly twice as much performance. And that's why I mentioned that part of being a little bit of a content creator as well. Because if you're doing a little bit of video, 4K video, maybe you're shooting with your phone or a couple 4K cameras, you're using some plugins, some color correction. Of course, you treat your audio a little bit with some audio tools. Then I would say that this would be your baseline. Because you can comfortably make music, but you can also comfortably make video with no problem. Anything higher than this is just going to be depending on your very specific needs, and we're going to talk about mine, and I hope that that helps you finding yours. And I would love to know in the comment section if you're a music producer, a digital musician, content creator, and why do you think you need an M4? I would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. And remember, while you're there, like, subscribe, and do all those cool little things that we like to do on YouTube, and enjoy this little bossa nova, my friend. I hope your day keeps getting better and better and better. Right, let's keep going. Okay, so now we go to the specificities. In my case, I feel like I'm good with the RAM. For example, 24 gigs of RAM of unified memory. I think it's probably way better than the 32 gigs that I have in my Mac Mini right now. And then the GPU and the CPU look pretty good. But me particularly, I want to have a little bit more storage because I want to be able to run at least 1 or 2 sessions that I might be working at the same time internally from the hard drive. So I would think that I need at least 1 terabyte. And I think that's what I would go for. So let's just choose this M4 Pro. And let's check the design first. It looks really, really nice. I love the fact that we have 2 USB-Cs in the front and 3 Thunderbolts in the back, and we still have an HDMI. So I don't have to waste one of my Thunderbolt ports just to get a screen on, right? And the design overall, I think it's pretty nice. It looks cute, like iPhone though, properly said. Okay, and the first upgrade that I'm going to be doing is definitely here in the processor. Again, like I've been saying and hammering down throughout this whole episode,
you need as much processing power as you can.
Think about it this way. Right now, every single update that every single DAW is going to start doing is going to be relying on this kind of processors to do that kind of job. So basically, none of the new things and new features that you're seeing that all technology is moving forward are going to be able to be used in computers that are a little bit older than this. And the second you give them the space, they're going to start looking for headroom, so you might as well have a little bit. So I'm going to definitely move on with the 14-core CPU. And having the 20-core GPU, it's actually a great help for me because like you're seeing right now, I do video. I have a little bit over 100 videos already in YouTube and I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So if I have a very capable computer that can help me edit faster, I'm more than a happy camper. So let's go. Again, RAM, like I was saying, this might be controversial. A lot of people would tell me like,
how come you don't need more RAM? Like I've heard people needing 192 gigabytes of RAM.
I'm like, man, I'm not doing orchestral suites every single time. Or my sample libraries and all my plugins, you know, they don't really need more RAM than 24 gigabytes of unified memory. That is a lot of RAM and a lot of fast RAM. So I would overall just keep it there. But my storage, I would definitely bump it to 1 terabyte of storage. And this almost feels like backwards, and I don't really want to do it. I want more storage, and I know it's cheaper to get storage externally. But like I was saying, with all my programs installed in my computer, I am almost at 500 gigabytes. So that would mean that I cannot have anything else in this computer, and I cannot do screen recording and just save it into my desktop. At least like, I don't know, a day or two while I try to do an edit for a video or whatever it is that I'm doing, I need to have a little bit of headspace, and I don't have anything with that 512 SSD. So I definitely need the terabyte just to be able to work. And I know I need a lot more storage, especially when I do videos. Right now, for example, I'm running on with the problem that I can only do one video at a time. I cannot like shoot in batches, for example. I have to shoot one video, edit it, and then delete it, because that's all the storage that I have to be able to edit the next video. So what I'm going to be doing, instead of having a bigger hard drive internally in the computer, I'm going to save some of my money and buy an external hard drive with maybe like 4 terabytes that is running maybe like, I don't know, 2500 megabits a second, something maybe like this. That of course is expensive and it's not cheap, but you know, storage and fast storage is very expensive. And my main concern when I'm using this kind of external hard drives is that usually that's where I keep my sample libraries. So let's say if I'm playing some drums, they're going to be coming out of that sample library. They're going to be coming out of that hard drive. So it better be blazing fast so that when I hit the drum, I hear the drum instead of You know what I'm talking about. But other than that, my friend, a gigabit Ethernet, in terms of internet, you are never gonna top that because the internet is terrible. And in the terms of like LAN communications and stuff like that, yeah, you might need the 10 gigabit Ethernet cable, but I don't need it. Maybe you do. I would love to know that in the comment section, and you tell me why you need it or not. And then here's where I don't know. I don't know if I should get Final Cut, and let me know in the comment section if you know about this, because I already have Final Cut in my other computer, but I don't know if I have to buy Final Cut for this new computer. It would suck if I cannot edit a video because I need to buy Final Cut and I already ran out of budget, you know, because I bought this computer. So if you know, let me know in the comment section. But other than that, I personally don't feel like I need to get the Apple Care Protection Plan, but let's just put it in there just to see what would it do. For 3 years of coverage, you're looking pretty much like around $1,800, $1,900 for a super powered computer. And I know in this economy, it sounds like a lot of money, but I come from a different era. And this is where I want to give you like a beautiful conclusion. And I hope that this gives you the most value in this video. So I definitely hope you stayed all the way here. And if you did, please write crunk in the comment section so I know that you stayed all the way to the end. But what's really important is I come from an era when just to do the kind of work that we're doing, you had to max out whatever computer you had. You just have to get the best of the best of the best of the best of the best, because every computer kept crashing on you every single time. I remember maybe like around 2010 or 2012, I was running in a system in a PC that I was doing a mix, and like every like 20 minutes or something like that, the whole CPU would just pop out of the computer and I would have to re-glue it back to the motherboard. And that was incredible work. But now, my friends, we don't need to get the best, the shiniest, the strongest computer that you can get, because nowadays the things that we're doing are not the ones that are tasking the computers the most. So you do not need the best. You do not need an M4 Ultra Max, whatever it is that is going to come out next year for the new studio computers, just so that you can run your Pro Tools sessions and make great music. Don't let anything stop you. Let me know what computer you're getting. I hope I can get this computer really, really soon, and you know I'm going to be sharing it with you. I'm going to be doing unboxing, performance reviews, see how it stacks up with my Mac Mini right now, the 2018 that I have, how it stacks up with my M1, and all this kind of cool things. But that's enough about me, my friend. I want to hear a little bit more about you in the comment section down below. And remember, like, subscribe. If you can financially support me, please smash that super thanks button right there. I thank you so much. And if you have some more time to watch another video with me, go right here. I'll be waiting for you right there, my friend. Thank you so much for being here today.